I'm currently outside of Pipkin Middle School, which has now become a primary topic in the Springfield Public School Board election since the search for the school's new property has started.
Springfield residents can legally own up to 6 chickens. However, there are still obstacles when it comes to owning chickens in unincorporated residential Greene County.
Burrell Behavioral Health is a local resource that offers a free 24/7 crisis intervention hotline with the same-day visit for anyone experiencing mental health struggles. I'm currently in rural Greene County off of East I-44, where some residents are still struggling to access high-speed internet in this digital-driven day and age. Residents in the Grant Beach neighborhood say they are eager to see the continued growth within their community. For Ozarks News Brief, I'm Becky Gardner. I'm currently outside of the GLOW Center, Springfield's LGBTQ Resource Center. This week, a House bill was proposed to repeal the same-sex marriage ban in the state of Missouri. The Missouri Department of Transportation is ending their 37-year-old Adopt a Highway program. This comes after the program was halted last May after a family adopted a portion of I-44 in memory of a man that was convicted of killing a police officer. Hidden Grounds Coffee House is the newest coffee shop in Springfield. Everything on their menu is under $6, and their mission is to build the Northside community through outreach and creating a safe third space for all-around growth. Players typically come out for a casual game and a good time. However, this tournament holds a little more importance to the Springfield community, especially for the students at McBride Elementary. Springfield Cardinals season starts tomorrow with some new faces joining the Redbird Clubhouse. Ozarks News Brief reporter Tristan James has been following this story and has the latest. Tristan, what can you tell us? A U.S. congressman is being sued for defamation by a Kansas City Chiefs fan who was briefly detained after the Super Bowl parade shooting. Meanwhile, 23 states and Washington, D.C. have filed lawsuits against the Department of Health and Human Services, alleging the department's sudden rollback of $12 million in public health funding was unlawful and harmful.
Love Like Georgia has been a movement that spread across Missouri State University and the Springfield area since November 13, 2023, when sophomore Georgia Davis took her own life. A year later, the community gathered at Sunshine Nutrition to remember her.
She definitely has changed my outlook on life. I've always been so negative, but after losing Georgia, it was kind of a switch to really love Georgia.
Recently, Morehouse College student and community leader Adrian Dukes took his own life shortly before graduating, and a decorated University of Wyoming student actor, Dawson Fanton, did the same. While Georgia was a high-achieving, social, and involved student, psychology professor Dr. Eloise Thomas says this isn't uncommon among students like Georgia.
Really high achievers tend to put more pressure on themselves. You're not going to be a high achiever if you just take life as it goes. You have to put a lot of pressure on yourself to do all of that.
Since Georgia's passing, Missouri State student organizations such as sororities and campus ministries have started conversations about mental health and are advocating resources to students who may be struggling.
I know for me, she was the person that I leaned on, and so for someone to be so strong and then, of course, struggle with it so deeply, it was a shock.
Burrell Behavioral Health is a local resource that offers a free 24/7 crisis intervention hotline with the same-day visit for anyone experiencing mental health struggles. If you or someone you know is struggling, call Burrell Health at 1-800-494-7355 or the National Suicide Hotline at 988. For Ozarks News Brief, I'm Becky Gardner.
The Grant Beach neighborhood in north central Springfield has experienced many changes over the years. A recent change has been how outsiders view their community. Emily Coates and her husband recently moved their family to Grant Beach. She's noticed the efforts to build the community has now impacted the local school, where a PTA has started for the first time in 15 years.
We just were really excited to maybe have some work to do, but be a part of the work that's done.
Tiffany Samples is another resident who has lived in the area for 9 years.
What I see is that the people here really have a lot of ownership in their community. They really care a lot about what's going on here.
While the area has once been labeled with negative stereotypes, the Springfield Crime Report found that violent crimes and property crimes have decreased by over 50% in the last 2 years. Now, a poll conducted by the city of Springfield shows Grant Beach residents are primarily concerned with nuisance properties and the homeless population in the area. Neighborhood Association President Jamie Tatum says the concerns involving the homeless have less to do with them being in the area and more so that as a neighborhood association, they can only do so much to help.
We definitely want to see them be able to get the help that they need and hopefully be able to be obviously loved right where they're at, but also then be able to overcome the trials and tribulations.
Samples says the negative stigma that previously surrounded the neighborhood has never been a reality or an issue for her.
If you get out and actually meet people and treat people like people, then the issues that are made up a lot about the North Side just aren't really there.
After years of work, residents in the Grant Beach neighborhood say they are eager to see the continued growth within their community. For Ozarks News Brief, I'm Becky Gardner. Car enthusiast Audrey Thomas has been working on cars for 4 years. She rebuilt the car she has now, a 2004 Infiniti G35 with multiple modifications.
There's so many girls out in the world that actually want to be a part of the car community, and they really want to learn how to work on cars and how to rebuild them.
Emma Appleby is restoring her aunt's 1994 Mitsubishi Eclipse, adding a new steering wheel, automatic seat belts, and other bells and whistles.
If it is a little Honda Civic that you've put cute headlights on, like, go out with it and make it you.
While Emma and Audrey enjoy being a part of the Springfield car scene, both have experienced the stigma of being a woman in a male-dominated community. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, women make up 12% of auto repair and maintenance roles.
As a woman, I feel like the biggest challenge into getting involved in the car community is that no one takes us seriously.
Personally, when I go to meets, I do feel like I'm given dirty looks, and there's kind of a stigma on women in cars.
As the car enthusiast community grows, Audrey and Emma want to make it a goal of theirs to help other women feel more confident getting active in the local car scene.
No matter what gender you are, you should be able to do whatever you want to your car, and you should be able to be proud of it, and you should be able to show it off.
Audrey and Emma plan to stay active in the car community to share the knowledge they've gained throughout their car's journey. For Ozarks News Brief, I'm Becky Gardner.
Well, pickleball is a mix of badminton, ping pong, and tennis, and it was actually created in the 1960s, believe it or not. It's the fastest growing sport in the nation.
It was fun in the sun at Twin Oaks Country Club a few weeks ago as pickleball players from 6 states came to Springfield. They were happy to play and happy to pay.
People love to play, they love to spend their money on a good cause, and this is a good cause.
Players typically come out for a casual game and a good time. However, this tournament holds a little more importance to the Springfield community, especially for the students at McBride Elementary.
That's because McBride Elementary lost one of its own 2 years ago when teacher Nick Hostler suddenly died of a heart attack. He was Mr. Nick to his students and others at McBride. His death brought a movement to life as friends and loved ones decided to build a playground in his memory, one designed to serve the students he was so devoted to.
He had the kids that had some really difficult disabilities, and he just was determined to make sure from year to year that those weren't any bigger of a barrier than they had to be for them to be included in as much as they could be. The biggest thing for Nick in reference to his students was they would prefer that you didn't say they can't. He would always prefer that. He would say, but let me show you what they can do.
It was a can-do attitude that led to Mary Kay and Gil Hostler taking part in the groundbreaking for a playground named after their son. Support from the community, everything from a pickleball tournament to a 5K, and other generous donations, helped raise over $400,000 so Mr. Nick's inclusive playground could become a reality.
I think the one thing that stands out is when I interviewed him, he had such an incredible love for kids, and he really believed he was going to change the world.
4 years ago, Nick asked Principal Lael Straight why the school didn't have anything for his students to do on the playground. He asked her, "How can we do better?" 2 years after his sudden death, on a fall day in South Springfield, that question was answered.
Welcome to McBride Elementary for the official opening day of Mr. Nick's Inclusive Playground. 3, 2, 1!
We can only imagine what Nick Hostler would have thought about this place bearing his name and serving so many kids of all ages and all abilities and so many people pitching in. Then again, maybe we don't have to imagine.
I'm kind of that crazy mom that says he's here. He is here, and he's watching, and he is smiling big. Of course, he never wanted anybody to fuss on him. So he would have a problem with that, okay? Stop fussing over me, you know, let these people have their fun. He's loving what he's watching. He was a sports enthusiast, so he's a happy guy. He's smiling big, and I think he's real proud, at the same time very humbled.
The butterflies on Mr. Nick's playground will watch over the kids who play here. And Nick's own words of reflection, shared by his father at the ribbon cutting, remind us of a life cut short, but a life well lived.
I've come to realize that the work I do, regardless how big or little the task might be, is making a difference in students' lives.
For HTV Magazine, I'm Becky Gardner reporting. Mr. Nick's Inclusive Playground is not just for children. Adults are welcome and it's open at nights and on weekends.